So let me show you a mistake, fatal mistake that most retail amateur traders make. They chase momentum. That's just it's the way most retail traders trade. Most retail traders spend a lot of time on financial blogs. They see other people making money. They want to make money right now as well. So they get stuck chasing momentum. And the problem is about the time that they recognize a strong trend has developed, that's usually about the time that a short-term top forms and then come back down. So consequently, retail type traders, amateur traders, they end up buying tops and then selling into bottoms. It's because they're constantly chasing the hot stock or the hot sector of the moment. So the way to make money is to anticipate where the next bout of momentum is going to occur, not by recognizing it 2 months after it's already started and then hopping on the trend expecting it to just continue up, for the foreseeable future. What I've got here is a chart of GDX, the mining stocks. Now this is very rare, this kind of momentum that lasts for a long time. This was 7 months for this rally, but this was a baby bull. This is not normally how markets behave. When they're not in a bubble phase or in like a baby bull type rally, then typically what happens is momentum will last for about 2 to 3 months and then it moves somewhere else. And that's about how long it takes retail traders to become convinced that the trend is going up or down, whichever one it happens to be. And so you look here into this basing phase, and you see we've got about a month and a half rally here, a little over a month here, again about a month here. We got 2 months here, and right at these tops, that's when traders, retail type traders, become convinced that the trend is set, and this is when they're confident of buying. And then of course what happens is the momentum runs out and you get a correction, and then what they've done is they've bought at the top and then they end up panicking down here at the bottom and selling at the bottom. So instead, what is a better strategy when you're not in one of these kind of trends, which is like I said, is very rare, is after something has rallied for 2.5, 3 months, the odds are not good that it's just going to continue moving in that same direction. At that point, you need to be looking somewhere else for the potential of the next trend to begin. So I'm going to say we've got a 2-month rally here in the mining stocks. This was a very nice move, a nice percentage gain. We've come right up to a resistance level here. Same thing with gold. Right up, to a major resistance zone right here. So I'm going to say, it's probably not a great idea to keep pressing this trend in the metals. It may be time for this trend to run out of gas and have to pull back for, at least if it's just a daily cycle low, then probably I wouldn't expect a bottom until after the FOMC meeting. This turns out to be an intermediate cycle low, like I discussed in my last video, then it could be 4 to 6 weeks before this bottoms, and then we start to anticipate the next trend. So right now, I think your odds are better perhaps looking at the stock market. In the stock market, we've been chopping sideways for about almost a month and a half. And so I think the odds are better that we're starting a trend in the stock market now. And if you want to jump on the next trend, this is probably the spot to be looking, rather than continuing to press the metal sector where the trend has been going very strong for for 2 months, and if the dollar has completed an intermediate cycle low, then the metals are probably going to have to back off for anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks before they're going to be ready to give us another trending move. You need to do the opposite of what you normally do, which is to buy once you become comfortable. You need to buy when you're scared. You need to sell when you're confident. And I saw a lot of confident gold bulls at the end of last week. A lot of talk of gold going to the moon. That's usually not a great sign. That usually means it's about time for a correction. I see a lot of negativity in the stock market in here. A lot of people expecting a crash. A lot of people calling for a crash in October. And maybe we will get some kind of correction in October. I haven't been able, I haven't decided yet whether or not this is that we're in a fourth daily cycle, or whether this was a final intermediate cycle low and we're starting the vertical phase of the bubble. I will say this: the strongest period for stocks is from the end of the summer/fall intermediate cycle low to the end of the year. So wherever that intermediate cycle low occurs, whether it's in August, September, October, whenever it is, the strongest part of the year is from that bottom into the end of the year, as we move into the holiday season where people spend a lot of money. So any bubble phase, in the vertical part of any bubble phase, is going to occur, or at least a big chunk of it is going to occur coming out of a summer-fall ICL and into the end of the year. You can see right here our fall ICL occurred at the beginning of November. You can see this very strong move up into the end of the year. This is this is normally what happens at the end of the year, as long as we're not working down into a 7-year cycle low like we were here. But any other year, this tends to be the strongest part of the year, and a vertical phase of a bubble, it's going to it's going to at least start, and a big chunk of it is going to occur during this part of the year. So I'm going to say this: the vertical phase is either going to start now, in the latter part of this year, or it's going to be pushed out to the fall of 2018. And I tend to think it's probably going to start this year. So now it's just a matter of trying to determine whether or not this is a final intermediate cycle low, or whether we might be in a fourth daily cycle that gives us one more lower low in October, and then we're off to the races. It's going to take me at least another few days to make a determination as to what this is, intermediate cycle low or fourth daily cycle. But one way or another, the vertical phase is going to come in the fall, whether it's this year or next year, and I tend to believe it's probably going to be this year.